Hello again. It's March the 7th, 2012, and I just finished one video and feel like putting up another, so I wanted to respond to a few people who have emailed me about the videos, and they wanted more information about Jimmy Stamp's saying, as you go up, stay down, and as you go down, stay up. And it's such an important concept, I thought it might be a good idea to spend a little bit more time on it. And the first thing I think is important is the part as you go up, stay down. The natural tendency, again, is as you play higher, the notes get higher, the pitch will start to rise higher than it should be until you're way out of whack. And so the principle behind as you go up, stay down is, remember, to as you go up note-wise, is make sure the pitch stays in line with the higher notes. And even, you know, it might be even helpful to think just a little bit lower on the pitch as you're going higher to counteract the natural tendency of playing higher pitch-wise. This will be what you'll often hear. And everybody's familiar with that one time or another. So the principle involved is as you're going up, and do it in a nice easy register at first. Don't try to do anything fancy at first, but in a nice easy register where you can experiment with that. Now if I try to raise the, and the idea is, another important thing to remember is that the note before the top note is often the note that gets us into trouble. It's not the top note itself that gets us into trouble. So if you're in line going up and the next to the note, next to the top note that you're going to play is good, you have a much better percentage chance of getting the note correct. So if I'm going up to the G, the E is the critical note. And I can be very confident that I'm going to be able to play that G correctly if the E is slotted correctly. And the same thing really in any register you're in. If you're doing that, it's really helpful. And likewise going down, I was working with a student the other day and they had a passage that went from high to low. And as they went to the low note, they got some holes in the sound. And it was, you know, real clear what the issue was, is that as they were going down, they were not adding the air. Jimmy used to say, keep your foot on the accelerator as you're going down the hill. You won't lose control. So very briefly, that's again, as you go up, stay down, and as you go down, stay up. And I'm sure there are other teachers have other ways of explaining it, but I know that was what Jimmy Stamp said, and it really resonated with me. And the exercises that he has in his book, again, important, the high E wasn't the critical note, it was the B. So if I'm in line on that B natural, then the E will be fine. So I think that's probably enough on that. Hopefully explains it a little bit better. Any passage you have, whether it be an exercise, etude, or a solo, they all have these situations, right, where they go from low to high. So work on the note that's next to the top note. And there's some great exercises in the back of the Jimmy Stamp book too, and I used to have all those memorized. They're by Tom Stevens, and I think those are some of the best exercises I've ever played. They're in the back of the Jimmy Stamp book, and I wish I could remember them. Maybe I shouldn't try, but those exercises, they're just great. It's a really wonderful little melodic study as well as being a great training tool. So check those exercises back of the Jimmy Stamp book. Good exercises for as you go up, stay down. And Jimmy Stamp also used to work with the Clark studies. Etc. And that's a really nice way when you're teaching the Clark studies to a new student to get them to be comfortable with the studies, not have to go too fast, and you make nice little melodic exercises out of them as well. Second time through, you may play it without the hold, or in the case of Claude Gordon, he used to have me do it 4 times with each line. We will be I guess the first time through was single tongue, then K tongue, then double tongue, and then slur as written. And that was Claude Gordon's approach to it. And that was also very helpful. So here's another Bill Bing's Trumpet Talk, this time focusing on As You Go Up, Stay Down. And I hope you find it helpful. And as always, enjoy the trumpet. It's supposed to be your friend. It's not supposed to be your enemy. I had a lesson today with a student who hadn't prepared at all, and it was not going very well, and I kept explaining to him the importance of practicing and how to keep the chops in the mouthpiece and stuff like that. And I said, well, how do you think your lesson's going so far today? And he said, good. And I said, really? Tell me about that. And he said, yeah, it's good because I'm learning all these things. And I thought that was such a great attitude. I couldn't get mad at him, because it was a good lesson. And I also showed him how to practice, and hopefully that made more sense to him. So when he comes back next week, I'll have something more to look forward to. But in any case, it was just a great example of somebody taking something that wasn't so good and making something good out of it. And it's not a bad lesson for any of us. Take care. Thanks for watching. Keep blowing. Bye-bye.